if you were to just look at like what the best use of your time is going forward, right? Is it to learn how to be the best SEO on the planet? Is it to get very good at doing title tags, page titles? Is it to be very good at content writing? Is it to be extremely good at building funnels? Is it to be extremely good at recruiting employees? You know, all of these things are important, right? But I would argue that the most important thing that you could do to increase the amount of money that you make over the next 5 to 10 to 15, 20 years over the course of your career is sales, is to get good at sales. Okay. That doesn't mean you need to have prior experience, but I'm telling you from somebody that had no sales experience, it will it will change your entire career. It will give you confidence that you have no idea that you even had in you. It will allow you to sleep at night knowing that you will always have a job. You will always be able to make money. You will always be able to get yourself out of a bind, even if it's a $60,000 in the whole bind. You will always be able to, okay, I want to get that house. I need a down payment. Let me just set a goal. Let me go get it. You will be able to get anything. You'll be able to convince anybody. And it's almost like magic. It's like this superpower. Okay. And I just want to tell you guys, because I had no idea how valuable it would be, that is the most important thing in your business is figuring out how to bring in the money. Now, some of you guys are not going to have an affinity for it. Some of you guys are not going to enjoy it, but you still need to you need to attain some level of competence with sales, because even if you're going to hire somebody, you need to know what you're doing or you're not going to be able to manage them. Okay. And some of you guys, you just want to go and hire somebody and say, I just want to sit behind the computer. That's great. So does everybody else. So does every 15,000 person from the Philippines that's willing to do it for $3 an hour. Okay. What people are not willing to do is sales. People are not willing to pick up this little glass freaking plastic box, cell phone, whatever it is, and call strangers. People are so terrified of talking to people because I don't get it. Okay. I do get it, but I don't get it. So I just want you guys to know from somebody who has spent the last over 10 years of their life just doing sales. Now I started just being a salesperson. Then like, okay, I'm going to just own the business and then I'm going to focus on the sales. I've been doing sales. I've been focusing on sales damn near every single day for 10 years. And it has made me millions and millions and millions of dollars, given me incredible confidence and given me peace of mind knowing that, like, even if everything went to crap tomorrow, even if I lost every bit of real estate, lost my cars, lost my investments, lost my cash in the bank, and I needed to make money, and I, for some reason, was like, I got to get a job, which I never would do that. But if I had to do it, I would have 10 jobs tomorrow. Okay. Because everybody is always hiring salespeople. Good salespeople are never going to get fired. Good salespeople are always in demand. Good salespeople are always going to have a job. Okay. So, what I want you guys to imagine if every single person that you got on a Zoom call, like me and Porter are on right now, okay? Every business owner, every Steve, every Bob, every Karen, every Christine, every single person that you got on a Zoom call to ask for money, that you knew with 100% certainty it was game over. You were going to get the deal. Okay. You knew if you got on, the second that they hit join, that deal was done. Imagine how that would be. All you would have to do is get more people on a Zoom call, right? That would be the entire game, is like, let's just get people on the Zoom call. We got to get them a couple leads. We got to get them a screencast. We got to, set the deal up, like the setup that we talk about. And then they're done, right? Imagine what that would be like. Well, I can tell you it's quite amazing. Okay. It is it's an amazing feeling. Now I'm not 100% close. I'm not 100% closer. I am damn close. I'm over 90%, probably closer to 95. But if somebody gets on a Zoom call with me, there is a very, 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 very slim chance that they're getting off the phone without giving me their credit card. Okay. To the extent that the few times that I have not gotten it in the last few years is when somebody literally agrees to buy, they start giving me their credit card and they just hang up the phone. Have you had that happen to you before, Porter?
No, gives it to you and then just leave, or like
You
almost
never
gives
had
it
that
to you.
happen?
No.
I've had that happen to me a handful of times. Okay. Yeah, hold on one second. Sounds good. Let me get you the card. 4246, da, 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 da. And they get to the last four numbers and the phone goes dead. And you're like, oh man, that's such bad timing. No, They just can't tell you no. I want to give a quick analogy, okay? And then we're going to talk about how you can increase your close percentage, okay? And this is something that I can guarantee if you guys will implement what I'm going to teach you today, and you will take what I'm going to teach you and you will go and do it, you guys will increase your closing percentage, okay? And you'll become dangerous at sales. You will start to get to the point where you are, what's the word? Your sales are predictable. Okay. You know, when you get on a call, you're going to get that deal. So guys, I want you to think about sales. And the analogy that I always use, and I talk about this inside Digital Landlords, is that sales is like baking a cake. Okay. And just hang with me because it's going to make sense. Okay. When you bake a cake, assuming you have a perfect recipe for this amazing chocolate cake, right? This recipe is going to tell you exactly how much flour to put in, exactly how much sugar to put in, exactly how much butter to put in, exactly how much time to keep it in the oven. And more importantly, or as importantly, it's going to tell you in what order to do these steps. Okay. And if you guys are like me, you know, my wife has some of these recipes that are like from her great grandma, and these cakes are like these ancient treasures, right? And they're like, oh, we got to use grandma's recipe to make Ebel skivers. Have you guys ever heard of Ebel? You heard of Ebel skivers?
No.
Yeah, exactly, right? Something that's these weird little
Devils.
doughy balls that you dip in sugar, right? Just very healthy. Good example. Or German pancakes, right? Oh, we got to use grandpa's German pancake recipe. It's so good, right? So imagine though that like you have this perfect recipe. And if you follow this recipe to a T, on the other side of that recipe, as soon as that oven beeps, you have this perfect cake, right? And I want you to imagine that a perfect cake is like a sale, right? That the cake comes out and it's like a sale. Okay. And so you have the perfect recipe, you follow the perfect recipe to a T, you get a deal, right? Or you have a perfect chocolate cake. Sales is sales is sales. I don't care if you're selling laptops. I don't care if you're selling water bottles. I don't care if you're selling coaching programs, if you're selling leads, if you're selling SEO. Sales is sales is sales. And the steps are the same. You have a recipe and you execute the recipe. Okay. But what you guys need to do is you need to map your flow. From the moment you pick up this phone and you call a business owner, what are you going to say? And as soon as you get off that call, then what are you going to do? And then what are you going to do? And then how's the lead going to get there? And then how are you going to follow up with the lead? And then at what point are you going to call them and say, let's get on a Zoom? And then when you do call them to get on a Zoom and they don't answer, are you going to text them? Are you going to call them? When are you going to do the pullback? Right? When the Zoom's tomorrow at noon, how many hours before are you going to send the screencast? What are you going to send in your screencast? Do you have an outline? Do you have a script that you're going to send in your screencast? How are you going to overcome each of the objections? Right? So how are you going to eliminate each of the objections so you don't have to deal with objections when you get to that close? Like we're talking about the octopus of the tentacles, right? When you get on the Zoom call, what's your script look like? How are you going to go through everything? What examples are you going to share? What stories are you going to share? Which case studies are you going to show? When you get to the close, what are you going to say? What happens when they object? What are you going to do? Like all of this, guys, and this is what I teach inside the program, is this perfect recipe. Now, I leave a little bit of wiggle room so people can kind of add their own flavor, their own twist. But for those of you that are not in there, those of you that are brand new to this, I'm here to tell you that if you are having inconsistent results, if you will go and map your flow, spend a day, spend a week, I don't care. Get out a blank piece of paper, get out a blank freaking document. And you need to know from the second you pick up that phone until the second you onboard them and start sending them leads and collect that credit card, every bloody step of that process to a T. And if something goes awry, how do you overcome it? What do you do in that situation? Now, I've done it enough times. I know exactly what I do. I know my process inside and out. That's what I teach, right? It's from somebody that's been doing sales for 10 years. Somebody that's been, actually it's, let's see, it started in 2013. Yeah, 10 years. 2013 was the first year I ever did sales. 10 years, okay? All kinds of different stuff, door to door, on the phone, Zoom, all kinds of different, whatever, you name it. I've done it. This holds true across the board. And if you guys aren't doing this, you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. This has made me hundreds of thousands of dollars because I know exactly what to do. Go and map out your flow. Go and start creating your recipe. And guess what? For those of you that don't want to buy my recipe, that's completely fine. Okay. Start building yours. Start building your recipe and realize that if you build a recipe and you go to do it and your cake turns out like shit and it's completely sunken in and it tastes like freaking chalk, well, you get back in the lab, you get back in the kitchen and you go, oh, what should I do here? Should I change how much flour? Should I? And you start tweaking it. And then you bake another cake and it fails again. And you bake another cake and you bake another cake. And that is how you freaking do it. Go and map your flow. That's my challenge for you guys today. If you guys will do this, you will increase your closing percentage and you'll become dangerous at sales. But what's going to happen is 99% of you will not. The one person that does, or the two people that do, or three people that do, they'll have incremental success and then they'll stop working on it. And the reason I am where I am is because I started creating a recipe and I spent 7 years creating it. And I spent millions of dollars testing and tweaking and this and that and the rest. And that's why I am where I am, because I didn't give up.